Germany will help Ukraine develop new long-range weapons that can hit targets well inside Russian territory. The announcement was made by the German Chancellor during the Ukrainian president's visit to Berlin on Wednesday. According to Germany's defense ministry, Berlin unveiled a military aid package worth 5 billion euros for Kiev. The defense ministers of both countries signed a memorandum of understanding for the production of long-range weapon systems, but without revealing technical details or naming the manufacturers involved. The German Chancellor told a joint press conference that there will be no range restrictions, allowing Ukraine to fully defend itself against military targets outside its own territory.
There will be no range restrictions. This will enable Ukraine to fully defend itself, even against military targets outside its own territory. This marks the beginning of a new form of military-industrial cooperation between our countries, one that has great potential.
Zelensky called for deeper defense cooperation across Europe and with the United States, stressing on the need for long-range capabilities and sustained military funding to ensure Ukraine's resilience. He hailed new investments by Germany.
We will not publicly discuss all the details, but today we have agreements on investment in production in Ukraine, and first of all, these are weapons. This is production of drones that will enable most effectively to protect lives of our soldiers.
Before the meeting between the German Chancellor and Zelensky, speculation has been rife that Germany will finally be sending Taurus missiles to Kiev, reversing its long-held policy amid the escalating Russia-Ukraine war. However, no Taurus missiles were publicly announced as part of the package. In his interview with Germany's NTV, Zelensky revealed that Taurus was discussed between the two leaders and they continue to work in that direction. However, he refused to give any further details, citing his assurance to the German Chancellor. The Taurus missile resembles the Storm Shadow in range, speed and payload. Taurus can be programmed to explode after hitting a specific target, such as a bunker. It can hit Russian air bases far behind front lines. Meanwhile, the Russian State Duma deputy Andrei Katapolov, during a press conference in Moscow, said Russia is ready to shoot down Taurus, Storm Shadow and Atacms missiles and carry out retaliatory strikes on their launch sites, as well as on the sites from which these missiles are delivered. And we earlier spoke to Dr. Volker Stanzer, who is a former German ambassador to China, senior distinguished fellow at SWP, the German Institute for International and Security Affairs. Listen in.
Other allies of Ukraine had already agreed to supply missiles that hit targets which are about 300 kilometers away from Ukraine. Now, the Taurus, which has been discussed since 2 years already, has a reach of maybe 500 kilometers. And to not supply it, as obviously is not going to happen, not to supply it to Ukraine, but to agree to help Ukraine to build it itself, is most of all a signal towards Russia. Look, we're going to do more. We're not shrinking back because you're continuing your war in Ukraine. Now, is this bringing peace, is your question. Who can answer that? Even Russia, I think, is not sure where in the end they will go. They have agreed with President Trump on negotiating, but they didn't enter negotiations. They had agreed on an armistice that then didn't implement it. So it is very difficult to know the strategy of Russia.